I'm Dan from Nevada Systems. Here's the secret. A lot of the things that are going to save your life on the next gig are stupidly cheap. It's definitely not a second mixer or another deck or another controller. You can get most of these for under $5, definitely under 10 or 15. So let's take a look, see if there's anything new that can help all of us out. So number one, it's a flashlight. Get a small one that can go on your belt, one you can just throw in the bag, something you don't have to worry about. I don't really care about what brand. It goes for whether you're, club, bar, event, I really don't care. At some point, you are going to drop something and it's going to be hard to find. Now, you might say to me, hey, I only do events during the day. Well, I mean, there's tables, right? There's corners, shadows. It just makes life so much easier. At some point, this will save you, someone you work with, someone else that's at the event. You'll break the flashlight out, you'll find the thing, everyone's gonna look at you, you're gonna be a hero. You're gonna have people lining up for your autograph, and it's all because you had a flashlight. Which brings us to number two. Number two, get a Sharpie. It's a fat one. All right, get something big, permanent, writes on anything. It's good for pretty much anything. You can write tags on cables with some tape. You can write stuff on outlets, figure out what's working, what's not working. You have a dead cable, slap that on. You can write signs. You're at a venue and you need to point people one direction. You would grab a piece of paper, you want to be looking for a pen. No one can even read the 0.7 millimeter pen that you picked up from reception. Nah, you got a big thick Sharpie for that. All right, so this is gonna get you covered. Anything that happens in a low light environment, you write it on this, you can actually see it. Anything that gets damaged during your gig, cables, gear, write it down so you're not trying to sort it out later. Finally, remember, if you followed the first advice and you got a flashlight, you got people lining up for your autograph. Now you got a big fat ass Sharpie to write that autograph with, so don't forget that. All right, number three, gaffer tape and blue tape. Now, I like having both of these. If you gotta only go with one, probably go with the gaffer tape. Get the smaller rolls of these, but not too small. You don't wanna run out in the middle of an event. Gaffer tape is amazing. I slap that shit on everything, right? That's like Frank's hot sauce, especially if it's in a trafficked area. Anything that's loose on the ground, anything that's hanging, you want to secure that. It sounds boring and it sounds dry, but safety is everyone's responsibility. Doesn't matter if someone else was supposed to do it. You see a cable there, slap that shit down. You don't want that flapping about. Anyone at an event trips on a cable, even if it's not your fault, that's going to be a bad time for everyone. It's going to stop the music, it's going to stop the party. Folks are going to get hurt. That's always the number one thing. You want everyone to have a good time. You want everyone to be safe. Always tape things off properly at each end, run it across, no sloppy taping. And just don't have cables flopping around, right? Now the blue tape stuff, that's super nice, right? You can use it, it doesn't mark, it doesn't leave residue. And once you throw blue tape on something, you can write on it with the Sharpie. So, all of this comes together. Like I said, labeling anything you need, super useful. So that's number three, gaffer's tape, blue tape, you wanna have that in your bag. All right, number four, silicone cable ties. Now, I know a lot of people go with zip ties, Velcro ties, all of that, right? This silicone cable tie, I love these things. Now, they all serve kind of the same purpose, right? You're bundling cables together, you want to attach them to something, get them out of the way, get things looking nice and clean, right? Sometimes you have a cable that's flopping around, you tie that down. Now, this is going to be more for folks that are setting up. So let me pause. Why is this better than, say, a zip tie? Now, once you pull a zip tie, at the end of the night, you're cutting that apart, right? You got to get scissors. Sometimes you don't have scissors. You want to go quick. Something like this, you can go quick. Now, Velcro, you can go quick too. The reason I like these instead of Velcro is that with these, you're not getting any abrasion on the wires, right? So over time, these are a lot gentler on cables, a lot gentler on wires, like those a lot. On top of that, a lot of silicone ones, they come in colors. You can start color coding things. You can have everything on one side, everything on another side, tag 2 different colors. Super useful. Organized cables are good looking cables. Now, you can even do a lot of cable organization at home and then roll in with these, kind of impromptu snakes, right? So you're not setting up as much, it's not taking as long. You're kind of all set up to roll when you get onto the venue. Number 5, this one's a kind of a killer. Now, this is super, super multifunctional. Now, this is a pocket notebook. Slip it right into your pocket. Hell, even pin a pen onto it so you're never in need of a pen. Now you can use this for just about anything, but there's kind of 3 amazing things that I like to use it for. One is I am really bad with names and I forget things. Now, you arrive on a venue, you know, maybe you meet the GM, you meet someone who's in charge of sound, you write these names down, and it helps you a lot. If you're ever back there again, you can call people by their names. People like to hear their names, right? It's a lot of this is a customer business. As much as we like to think about, you know, it being all about the music, a lot of the time it's not about the music, right? It's about, you know, not being a dick and having good enough music. You gotta have good client hands. And part of that is remembering people's names. So, hey, it helps a lot. Second, you know, sometimes there's going to be quirks in systems, right? There's going to be, hey, you know, this deck doesn't work properly. This input needs to go here. This cable, you need to wiggle it in this certain way. People are going to tell you once. They're not going to tell you 2, 3, 4 times. So you write that down. And, you know, it's also helpful to remember, you know, order of things that have to happen. You can have a printout. But again, with the book, you can change that at any time. Now, the third one, my favorite thing, someone comes up to you with a request. Now, there's 2 uses for this. You can actually write it down, or you can hand it to them so that they write it down and, you know, they feel that they've spoken. Feels a lot more real when you put it to paper. So next time someone comes up to you while you have Bad Bunny playing and they request a Bad Bunny track, hand them the notebook, boom, you're good. Writing things down is cathartic, people feel heard, maybe they go away. Number 6, this one might run you a bit more. Now, I've gone through a couple of these. It's an audio cable tester. I mean, they're kind of bulletproof. They'll last you probably a good 5 or 6 years, if not longer. And there's 2 good things that you want to use this for. One is before you even get to the gig, any cable that you bring should be working, right? And do you want to be testing that with all different kinds of input and output devices? No, that's kind of a pain, right? You take the audio tester, in, out, boom. Lights flash up, you know it's good to go. So every cable that you're bringing into the venue, you know that works, you know the backup works. Now, if you're at the venue and something doesn't work, now you have the cable tester, right? Because if, let's say that you run 2 cables and both of them don't work, you actually don't really know anything, right? You don't know that, you know, the device is broken. You could just have 2 cables that don't work. So, good way to check things, save you a lot of time. And again, if there's someone handling this, let them handle it, right? For, you know, all you club folks, don't be unplugging everything and trying to do it yourself. But, you know, it's kind of nice to have outside of that space. Again, if there's someone handling it, don't be unplugging things. But if you got to do the work yourself of checking the cables, plugging the cables in, you might want one of these. Number 7, I think this is going to be a guilty one because all of you already know that you should have this. But I would say that less than half the people I run into actually do. So it's earplugs. Have a good pair, have a cheap pair, have 3 or 4 cheap pairs. You know, foam, whatever. Foam is going to be better than not having anything at all. They're small, just stick them places, right? Tinnitus sucks. Like, it really sucks. Like, talk to older DJs. Anyone who's been in the game for a while is either having had used earplugs or will tell you that they wish that they used earplugs. Having tinnitus is not hardcore. Don't try to be a badass on this one. It's we spend a lot of time putting wear on our ears, and you will want this. Okay, number 8, a 3.5 millimeter to 1/4 inch adapter. You will want 1. You will want 2, because the first one will be borrowed by some other DJ, and you will never get it back. Hell, you might even want 3. I don't really need to explain why this is necessary, right? So, yes, a lot of mixers do have 3.5, and at some point, if you do this for a while, you will have a pin break inside of that, and you will get it out, but it will take a while. And the entire time, you're gonna think to yourself, damn, I really should have listened to that video about getting a 1/4 inch adapter. Anyways, 1/4 inch has been around for a very long time. It's reliable. It's not gonna snap inside the mixer. Get it, love it, leave it in your bag. Number 9, binder clips. Don't use this part to clamp the cable, but these are great for hooking cables onto things, onto other things, onto other cables, closing bags, holding notes down so they don't blow away. You know, you write something down on a note, you put it on a piece of paper, falls away, you never find that, right? You throw a binder clip on that, not gonna be a problem. Throw a couple of these in your bag, different sizes. You can thread the cable through here. Now that cable's sitting on the desk, it's not gonna flop away. At the end of the night, you're gonna use these at least a couple times. Throw them in your bag, do a couple of gigs, come back and tell me that my advice is trash if you don't use them. But you're gonna use them. Finally, 10th one, you all know this except for the one person who needs to hear it the most, so I'm gonna say it anyways. You want backup cables. Every cable that you use, you want a backup for, right? And you're not gonna have multiples of each length. Nobody wants to carry a 6-foot, 10-foot, 25-foot XLR cable. So go for the longer one, and you know, at the end of the day, once it's plugged in, loop that around a couple times, clean it up. It's XLRs, RCA, headphone cables, power cables. I mean, hell, even a Cat 6 cable, right? Ethernet cable for when the Pro DJ link goes out. But this is gonna save you on the one time that you need it and it's not available on site. And you know, you don't want to be driving off to Guitar Center or Best Buy in 10 minutes before everything starts to desperately find a cable. If you have some suggestion of your own, something that you thought was clever, has come in useful time after time again, you want to share with everyone else, please comment down below. Subscribe for more tips, and we'll chat later again. All right, peace.